Once you are in the wheel pose, see what is happening, the toes are slightly turning outside. So let's begin the posture. We will talk about the Urdhva Dhanurasana. Chakrasana is also the name of the same asana in Hatha Yoga, right? So how do? You start the posture from the supine position. And how much you need to bring your heels closer? Can you bend the legs? How far your heels should be from your buttocks? How far your heels should be from buttocks? 1 feet. No, means how far your heels and how close your heels should be from the buttocks. Okay, so wherever you can touch your fingers to the heels, like this much would be enough. So some people, what they do, they bring the heel too close to the buttocks, and what happens in this case, the knees crosses the ankle joint, and then they start feeling pain at the knee, or maybe it's also going to compress the lower back region. Even if the heels will go too far, it's gonna be quite challenging for you to lift your body up. So you better just adjust them wherever you can touch the heel. Then you need to open your legs slightly more than your hip distance apart. Okay, and then make sure the toes are facing to the front of the mat. The very common mistakes and common mistakes happen when you're doing your Chakrasana. So people, they feel what is happening, the knees going away from each other, or maybe even the knees are there, but the toes are pointing outward. And what can be the reason for that? Why the toes turn out? Does anybody know the reason? Okay. Like you will find the people are there turning the toes outside, like when you are in the posture and you are performing your posture and toes are running out. What is the reason for that? No, not really. Okay, the first thing, it is because of unawareness. You are not really aware about the toes and this is happening. Second reason can be you are engaging your glutes too much. Because the strengthening of the glutes muscles are also responsible to externally rotate the legs, right? So if you raise your legs here, what is going to happen? Your legs will go like this. So that is why we say you should not engage your glutes during the back bending postures, right? You engage your glutes only to reduce the compression from the lower back region, but if you are not having compression at the lower back, so don't engage your glutes, right? So keep them relaxing there. So this is also reason. Other reason can be if you are having tight hip flexor muscles, right? Tightness of the hip flexor will also cause your knees like this, and it is also going to help you to rotate the legs out. So for the better back bends, you need to have a good flexibility at the hip flexor as well. Okay, then here you need to adjust your hands. So where do you need to adjust your hands? Your palms should be right beside your head. Okay, and then try to spread the fingers. Sometimes what people they do, they put their palms under the shoulder. Can you do that? If you put your palms under the shoulder, what is going to happen? The elbow joint will cross the wrist joint, and it is going to bend your elbow too much, right? And hyperflexion also going to cause the less strength, right? If your elbow is bending in this much only, you will have better strength. So better what you do, you place your palm here. If it is even difficult, you place your palm slightly further back and maintain the elbow and your wrist joint in one line. Before you lift your upper body up, see, if you lift your upper body up, it is going to be difficult to lift the lower one, right? Or if you lift your whole body up in a one go, it is again going to be quite challenging. So in beginning, you better what you do, you lift the buttocks up only. Okay, what is happening? You brought your hips from the forward bending position to the back bending position. Hip is already in the back bending position, and then here you can lift yourself up and come to the Chakrasana. Okay, if you don't want to come to Chakrasana in one go, what you can do, you just rest the head down, and now you have one more time to readjust, and you readjust the hands if you need, like wherever you want to readjust them and adjust them, and then you lift yourself up. Once you are in the wheel pose, see what is happening, the toes are slightly turning outside. It can be because of this tightness of the hip flexors. Now in the Chakrasana, your navel region, this part should be flat, right? So from your hip bone and from your floating ribs, both should be in one line, and this region should be flat. Some people, what they do, they'll raise the navel too high and then making kind of temple here. If this part is stretching more, what is going to happen? This part is going to compress, right? So don't make it hinge, right? Don't hinge from the hip. Try to extend and then do back bend. So try to keep this part flat. If this is flat, This is also going to be flat, right? And you will not compress your lower back region. So try to make this. Now, if it is like you are still feeling compression at the lower back and feeling navel region is going high, what you do, you try to shift the body weight to the hands more than the legs. You will see this part is rising. Can you see the difference here? Right? This part and this part is coming flat. If you do, try to push the chest further and you will see the ribs and the hip are coming in one line. Okay, so this is what we do. I don't want you to bring your arms closer to the legs. I just want you to shift the body weight to the hands, and this is going to open up the chest region. Same way. Yes. Yeah, it means the armpit region is tight. So see, need to do some stretching for the arms, right? So here when you're coming down, what you do, you need to bring your chin to your chest first, and then slowly you go down. Okay, why did I ask you to do this? If you keep your head like this and you come down, in case you lose balance from the hand, you're gonna break your neck, right? But once your chin is closer to the chest, then you will rest the back of the head down, and in case you lose the balance, you're gonna distribute that whole weight to the whole spine, not just one particular part, and it is going to save your neck region. Okay, there are some people who are having the wrist injury or maybe wrist pain, not having the good flexion at the wrist. Right? It is also going to cause pain at the wrists, and it will disturb you to get into the posture. So what you can do in that case, so I'm going to, like, let's say I'm helping her, so I will ask her to place the hand at my foot, right? So what is happening here? This swap action is happening here, right? So she need a less flexion of the wrist, and then can you come? Okay, and I can adjust. Look at the elbows are a little better this time, right? And if I pull her towards me, look at this, definitely there is going to be no pressure at the lower back region, right? And she's having well chest opening. So this is how you can adjust. Now, can you go lower, down, yeah, all the way down? If still this is giving you pain at the wrist, so what you can do, you can grab the ankle, and this is going to be the better grip, because now you don't need this, you have this, and you have something to grab, so it means you can easily engage the muscles around your wrist joint. So yes, can you go like this and look at the posture? Her arms are better in better position before lying than the before, and you can go like this. Then slowly go down. Beautiful. So this is how you do Chakrasana. Now what can be the nice counter pose for Chakrasana? I told you, you don't go from the deep back bend to the deep forward fold. You need connection in between. Rolling, child pose. Okay, the best way to counter the back bend, do some strengthening. Right? So go for your boat pose. Go for some strengthening asanas like bakasana and all this posture. Have you seen the intermediate series? Before the forward extension, you do bakasana, you do your twisting asanas there. So twisting and the strengthening can be the great counterbalance and counter pose for your backward bending, right? And then you do forward bend. So then you can do Paschimottanasana, child pose, and all these postures. So this is how you make people to do this.